58 or 68 quarterbacks, different quarterbacks start. Some of them couldn't throw orange 25 yards. Right. So you got to be able
that's true too.
You got to be able to advertise what you have, because if you allow other people to give you that answer, they may sell you something that you don't want to buy.
Right, and you're saying it. This whole thing is an advertisement, right?
Yes.
And you're trying to find those drills that you go, hey, this is my strength. This is what I do well. I've got the big arm. I've got better touch. And you're trying to separate yourself from the group by these different drills that we're doing right now. We got to come back, right? When you hit that top cone, you're going to turn the corner and try to come back down towards the line of scrimmage and out of bounds. We're not rolling this straight to the sideline like the out we saw before, but trying to come back down the line towards the line of scrimmage.
And again, for the receivers who are deep ball threats and who do love big plays down the field, this kind of route marries up perfectly with that. You're able to sail the go ball. You're able to get that DB to open, flip and go, and now you have to sit it down around 18 or 20 yards depending on the game plan and so on, and come back and keep it friendly.
And I like that you mentioned that, because we just ran the go or just saw the go route, right? And this is what they're doing, right? They're pushing this now to about 18 yards and then coming back. But that stem, you know, to that point looks very, very similar.
But the stem is not the issue. It's getting into the break, keeping the same speed, chopping, not sitting down, not sitting down or squatting, not beating the drum. But so you have to find that happy balance of running, being explosive, get down low enough but keep the integrity of your height to where you don't telegraph your route. Stop on the cone or a dime and give you 10 pennies and catch the football. This is going to be extremely hard because a lot of guys don't understand. Speed is not going to win this. Technique and understanding of how and why you're doing it.
And like you said earlier, Steve, you know, routes like this speak to the rhythm of your feet. Being able to not take too many steps, not overstriding. You know, that's what you don't want to see in drills like this. You don't want to see guys overstriding for the depth at the comeback position. You want it to be a smooth transition.
Right. And so the great ones, the great ones will learn actually innately the number of steps. Like I'm not on a football field on the 22-yard line looking at 20 yards being the 42-yard line. My steps will get me there. And that's what he's talking. I know where the steps will get me.
I looked at the yardage. I couldn't do steps.
Yeah, I looked at it.
Because I would count. You can hear me counting when I ran. So I was a guy who looked, you know, I'm shorter. On the field. So I had to look up beyond the corner, but also being a fast guy and a rhythm guy. If I got held up, if I got held up at the line and I had a 18-yard route,
you looking at that number,
guess what? I'm running at 15.
Down on you.
Am I running at 12?
Right. That time.
And so timing, right?
Right.
So what were you about to say about the corner? You talk about the comeback.
Well, no, I mean, just back to your point, though. What I love is that, again, you guys are taking everybody into – each of you guys do it a little bit differently, right? There's not just one way to run this comeback route. You're feeling it, Irv. Like, hey, I've done this so many times. It's muscle memory. And now you're going, okay, I got to find that spot on the field, and now I get that mental. But there's a lot of different ways to play these positions. You've got to figure that out. Like I talked to,
I know he didn't even. He wasn't even breathing. He was just like second nature. Just calm, rhythm.
Good one.
Now on that comeback right there. I will have to work with Rome on that comeback.
Okay. What do you want to see him do?
See, that's where that stride length comes in.
And that's what I just talked about. And that stride length right here.
And that's why playing outside with that stride length and being able to transition that the corner has, they're going to transition faster than you. That's where I think he can get in trouble playing outside.
But, man, Steve, I understand you think because you won with quickness like that. Now, he's a big dude like me. So now, on transitioning, he can use his body also. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So sometimes if I can't beat you out that cut into that spot, now I got to hold you in here a little longer and let him throw the ball first before I beat you, try to beat you.
Yes, but because he's such a long strider, that transition of that corner is also looking at the quarterback. So when the quarterback is ready to throw the ball, even though the receiver is not out of the route, the corner is looking at the key, which is the quarterback, not necessarily always the wide receiver.
And I will tell Rome that on certain plays like that, when you're transitioning, you just pump your arms, but You don't have to get those full strides like that.
Yeah.
So he can come out of that cut quicker.
Steve, where's he in your top guys in this wide receiver class? Yeah. Is he at the top?
I think Rome is, was it 3? I think Rome is 3.
Okay.
Coleman from Florida. Kedon Coleman from Florida State. I think he's dropped down after his performance, just what we saw in route running. He has the speed, but some of the technique and the ability to run the routes, I think he's dropped out a little bit. AD, and now with Worthy, those guys move up.
Yeah.
There's some guys with some numbers that have moved up significantly where other guys have maybe dropped out of 4s and 5s and 6s.
So there's some hope for you, Kurt, here. Isaiah Williams was a former quarterback, converted receiver here at Illinois.
Oh, really? All right.
He actually started 4 games for the Illini back in the COVID season of 2020 and then made the switch to receiver before the fall of 21 and led the team in receiving yards each of the last 3 years. So it's a good switch.
Not bad, right?
Yeah.
Good decision. Missing a lot of these routes, right? The ability to have pace, to time up your drop. Again, it's a hard thing. A lot of these guys are so used to playing in the shotgun. They're not used to getting under center and pacing their drops. You know, you hear people talk at home, you got a 3-step, a 5-step, a 7-step drop. But I had 3 different 3-step drops. I had 5 different 5-step drops, 7 different 7-step drops, all based on the route that you have on the outside to time up that throw and to be able to get it out with the right kind of pace to make it easier. Way too many missed throws right there.